Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back for another card review. So, whenever I use my face cam for card review, you know that it's going to be something on the very extreme end, okay? So, in this video, we're going to talk about the Virtual Rebirth Dragon Spiritors that just got the Virtual Rebirth not too long ago. Alright, so I was supposed to make this before the release of the Virtual Rebirth, but I didn't have time, right? But I thought maybe I can give this series a chance. Maybe after Virtual Rebirth, I kind of test it in game to kind of try the card and then give a proper card review. But my opinion of this card didn't change after my gameplay. Alright, so let's take a look at my view on this particular Virtual Rebirth. Alright, so starting off with team skill for Water, Fire, Earth Spiritor. Okay, so basically if you have your Dragon Spiritors as well as your Ethereal Dragon of the same attributes in the team, right? Ethereal Dragon from the left, attack times 1.5. Okay, and then your Ethereal Dragon HP times 1.3. Okay, I really have a problem with this. Okay, so number one, is Ethereal Dragon even still in the meta, right? So I'm just gonna put this out there for you guys to kind of absorb, right? I know that there is like some Ethereal Dragon buff that has been going on. I don't think it's very impactful, right? I believe it's still pretty trash, right? There's so many better dragon cards out there to put that slot, right? You have Hong Ai, you have Changbi. Now what's the point of bringing Ethereal Dragons, right? And most of their active skill are just pretty trash as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it at that, right? I think I accidentally paused the video. Okay, so next we're gonna take a look at the light dark version of this. Alright, so this is the team skill for light and dark, and it's even more laughable, okay, for this team skill. Alright, so let's take a look. So if you have the same Ethereal Dragon, light, dark, okay, in the same team, right, what you're gonna get is Ethereal Dragon from the left, attack times 1.5. Their stats are so trashy, 1.5 doesn't really matter anyways, right? And then Ethereal Dragons from the left, HP times 1.2, skill CD minus 3. Okay, so mainly their team skill is buffing the Ethereal Dragons and not the Spiritors itself, which I don't understand what they're trying to do. Okay, so if you're looking at light dark, we have the light Ethereal Dragon and dark Ethereal Dragon, and their active skill. What's their active skill? Sniping damage. That's all. Like, what's the point? Why do you even want to reduce their CD4, right? If you want a sniping dragon card, just go defensive dragon. Their CD is only 3, right? I don't get what they're doing, right? So I don't know, this is becoming more of like a rant video, but this is my honest opinion on this Virtual Rebirth Dragon Spiritors, right? If you guys usually want to Virtual Rebirth just to collect the card, then I don't mind, but to put it in perspective, whether it is good or not, right? Be it these cards being a leader or being a member, it has to be impactful as a Virtual Rebirth, because yeah, Virtual Rebirth is bringing the card back at least into the meta, but it's not doing anything like this. Alright, so I'm just gonna move on, right? The team skills are trashy, so you don't even have to think about bringing Ethereal Dragons, just leave them alone unless they get their own Virtual Rebirth. Okay, so next we're gonna talk about the leader skill for Ursula as well as Barbara. They have the same leader skill. Alright, so this is a very outdated gameplay. If you guys remember, the very first dragon gameplay was using Novalis as a leader, and ally you use Ursula or you use Barbara. So it's kind of like a HP sapping gameplay, right? Back then, which was very popular, but now if you look at it, it's stupid. Okay, so Dragon attack times 6, yes, they bring the multiplier back to meta, but is it useful? I don't think so. Right, 10% of damage dealt to enemies by dragon will be converted to HP recovery. Of course, that is going to be pretty much your full HP, right? So now, especially when your max HP recovery is 100%, okay? And by dissolving dragon runestones, team attack times 2.5 additionally. So it's a 6 and a conditional multiplier of 2.5. Not very fantastic. In my opinion, nobody is going to play this playstyle anymore. I thought they're going to kind of revamp after the Virtual Rebirth, but they kind of stick to their roots by having that same playstyle, which is very out of meta already, right? To be honest, I don't think anybody's going to play this. And Moving on, we have Honor, Leader skill, Claws of Dragon, EX. We have extend rune movement time by 2 seconds. Okay, right? The reason why they give you extend 2 seconds is because they want you to dissolve a group of a bulk dissolve, right? Which is a group of 6 to 8 attributive runestones. So with that, you get a team attack of 7, and if you don't do that, you have basically 0 multiplier, right? Just to put that out. And by dissolving a group of more than 9, which means you must have at least 2 columns of whatever runestones together, dragon attack times 10, which is quite a big multiplier. But then you're gonna suffer in terms of all the combo counts and stuff like that. Imagine dissolving 2 columns of like a group of 10, for example. Like that's gonna be almost half your board gone. Right? How many combos can you make? Right? So a very shit leader skill here, to be honest. And I don't know why they have to split Honor leader skill and like Novalis and Agatha's leader skill, because Fangs of Dragon EX is basically the same as what Honor have, but slightly better. So then who's gonna use Honor as leader? Okay, so let's go through Novalis as well as Agatha's leader skill. Dragon attack times 4. Okay, so there's a base multiplier. Honor doesn't. So I don't know who would have the right mind to play Honor as a leader. Okay, extend rune movement time by 2 seconds, which is the same, right? So basically what you have for point number 2, 3, 4 is the same as Honor, just that now Novalis and Agatha have that base attack times 4. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so honestly, this playstyle is totally gone already. And by dissolving a group of 9, same thing as what I say, you're compromising all your combos. And yeah, you have that base multiplier of times 10, but you're losing out on the combo multiplier as well. So kinds of balance out already. And yeah, definitely not going to be meta at all. Alright, so you can see this virtual rebirth Dragon Spiritors as being solely members only, regardless whether it is whatever virtual rebirth form it is. Whether it's the Divergent or the Refinement form, they're both going to be member category, right? Member status. There's no way in this current meta that they're going to be leaders. Okay, so with that, where was I? We're going to move on to the Refinement version of the 5 Dragon Spiritors. Okay, so we have Ursula here. So they didn't really change much. Okay, so now we have for 2 rounds synchronize all dragon attack of all dragon as the highest, as the greatest dragon attack launch. So there's no change. It has been like that. Just that now by dissolving a group of more than 6 dragon rune stones in the first batch, monster skill minus 1. Okay, I understand that this is done to kind of quickly reduce Ursula's CD to be able to use it again, but don't you find that CD minus 1 is a bit too selfish? I mean, like, give it a minus CD minus 2 is even better. I understand that it runs for 2 rounds for the active skill, but it's kind of pathetic as an upgrade from PR to VR. There's not much of an impact, alright, just to put it out there. Okay, so this is, I'm very, very disappointed in this virtual rebirth. Alright, so let's move on to Agatha. Agatha, the difference is instead of convert, now it's exploding the runes to generate. So there is a bit of an upgrade there in terms of when enemies have anti-conversion. Agatha active now works instead of the PR version. Right? The PR is convert, in which it's not gonna happen if the enemy have anti-conversion. But this one is gonna do the trick because it's exploding and generating. Okay. On top of that, leader ally are dragon, monster attack times 5. I wish they have some sort of changes here, in a sense that if leader ally are dragon, the times 5 applies to the leader ally instead. Something like what we have for the Machina version of Cerberus and Baphomet, whereby the conversion is done and then the buff goes to the leader and ally. Right? Something like that, because at least it gives Agatha a chance to be in the meta, whereby you can use any, your latest dragon series, whatever that's going to come up in the future, to have that times 5 buff. But the times 5 buff happens on Agatha. Highly unlikely we're going to bring her to any battles, honestly. Okay, so I'm just going to move on from here and go to Barbara. Alright, so Barbara back then when doing the PR, the power release form, is just trash. No one uses Barbara. Right? She's like one of the least used Dragon Spiritor out of all the 5 attributes. Right? But she have the most attractive change in her active skill. Okay, so CD5 turn all runestones into dragon runestones, which is good. Okay, so we have that raised rune damage buff there. Okay, and if the team has only dragons, turn it into enchanted dragon runestones, even better. Okay, for 1 round, team damage received decrease in proportion of number of dragons to the max times minus 100%, which means that you can kind of like dodge 1 round, one turn. This is very good in terms of like maybe have initial shield with, you know, high attack, or you have maybe invisibility shield in which you have no snipe. You can use this to reduce the damage. Kind of like a 1 turn dodge kind of thing. Alright, but she's going to be even more useful in her divergent form, in which I'm going to talk about it later. Okay, but Barbara alone is really better than Ursula and Agatha that I've already spoken earlier. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly touch on Honor, because what he does is basically the same as Agatha, which is explode, generate its own attribute, and then leader allied dragon its own self monster attack times 5, which is useless as what I've said earlier. Okay, so I'm just going to move on to Novalis. Alright, so Novalis, this is the most disappointing card in the series. Okay, it was such a good card. Alright, I thought Madhead could have done better. Madhead, you could have done better. Okay, let's take a look. So we have the same active skill as what we have in the power release form, but now we have it ignoring initial shield. Right, as you can see in point number 3, monsters damage can be dealt regardless of initial shield. But what is the problem? The problem, okay, we have one additional effect in which upon deactivation you turn the columns below water dragons and dark dragons into dragon runestones. But why just these 2 attributes? I understand that last time people used to play Novalis Ursula, yes, water dragon, dark dragon. But the current meta is just a mixed attribute of dragon. Why don't you just turn columns below dragons into dragon runes? Why must you be so selfish? Just 2 attributes of dragon, seriously? Okay, that's not the problem. That's not the main problem. The main problem is, there's 2 main problems, right? Before Novalis have its virtual rebirth, I have this thought that Madhead will either, number 1, reduce Novalis CD, right? CD 8 nowadays is too long, right? I thought it will go down to at least CD 6 or CD 7. Okay, if that doesn't happen, it goes to point number 2. At least upon deactivation, minus CD. Hello, right? We have that for Enchantress, we have that for some other cards, but why not Novalis? Novalis, yes, it is very susceptible to neutralize and reset. So upon deactivation, would you please at least minus CD so it can, you know, activate Novalis faster? But it didn't happen. None of this happened. There is no reduction in CD. There is no minus CD upon deactivation. I have no idea what Madhead is doing for this virtual rebirth. Okay, so very disappointing. I don't think Novalis is going to be meta unless you need it to break initial shield, but that is, you can do it using a craft. You might have some upcoming dragon cards that can do that. So there's no point in bringing Novalis, right? Novalis doesn't really work well in the Qinggui team as well. So right now Novalis is just sitting there, not doing anything, right? So it's just an overall very, very bad virtual rebirth there, right? Applies to all the 5 Spiritors across the board, maybe with the exception of Barbara. Okay, so we're going to touch real quick on a combination skill. Okay, combined skills of Agatha and Ethereal Dragon, Fire Ethereal Dragon. Okay, so I'm just going to say again, Ethereal Dragon is not in the meta, so I don't see why you're going to use combined skill, but since it's here, I'm just going to talk about it anyways. So if you activate both Agatha and her partner together, what you're going to do is to explode fire, earth, and heart runestones to generate this enchanted fire dragon runes. Okay, so for 3 rounds, their attack times 6. Okay, first and foremost, their attack, especially the Fire Ethereal Dragon, is not fantastically high. Okay, so maybe what you can do is to, like maybe there is like weakened runes. I don't know. I can't really find a way to justify this card at all. Okay, I try to save these cards by saying something nice, but I really can't think of anything. But it's just a waste of slot trying to put these two together, right? Maybe you want to bring Agatha, it's still not too bad, but bringing Fire Ethereal Dragon is just a waste of slot. Okay, Ethereal Dragon is a waste of slot. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Same goes to Barbara and Byaki. Okay, so we have another combined skill for 1 round upon activation, and at the end of the round, turn all runestones into enchanted dragon runestones. That might be a bit useful, and then turn hard water into enchanted earth dragon runestones. Number 3, recover HP as much as 150% HP of dragons and earth members in the team. Alright, so last time this skill used to be quite good because recovery was a problem for dragons. But nowadays, look at how Qing Gui is played. Recovery or even like Changbi or Hong Ai. Recovery is using dragon runes as recovery. You no longer use hard runes to recover. Right? This playstyle is so old. Right? So whatever skill that you're seeing here is not applicable in now today's meta anymore. Right? So once again, totally obsolete combined skill right there. Alright, so moving on, we have another combination skill from Honor and the light counterpart Ethereal Dragon there, which also does the same thing as Agatha, which is explode, generate runes, and then times 6. I'm just gonna leave it there. You guys do the decision. Kind of be the judge. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the divergent form of the 5 Spiritors, which is, we're going back to Ursula. Alright, so CD9, what it does is to turn the column below monster into enchanted dragon runestones, so no conversion, just adding that enchantment as well as race runes. Mini buff, okay. I'm just trying to say something nice about the cards, at least. Okay, number 2, freeze all enemies to inactivate them and change the attribute to water for 1 round. Point number 3, if leader ally are dragon, the effect stays in place for 3 rounds. Okay, fair enough. It's a good card. It's a good active skill, right? Because nowadays you have to freeze monsters, you have to ignite monsters, you have to electrify monsters to kind of burst 100%, right? So this is a good active skill. But why is the CD so long? CD9, dude. Okay, just go back in time whereby we have that Elf series. What's that thing called? The one with Diamond, Jade, and Ember. That series, right? We have Ruby, we have Sapphire, which also freeze and ignite, and they're at CD 6. Why is this CD so long? They're doing the same thing. They're practically doing the same thing, but 3 CD longer. Why? I don't get it. Right? So this is a good, but I don't know. There's just something wrong with this entire virtual rebirth. The CD is so long for doing the same job, right? Next, we have Agatha, which also does the same thing as Ursula. Enchantment at race runes, ignite enemies this time instead of freeze, and then place in play for 3 rounds if leader ally dragon. And it's also CD9. What's wrong? What's going on, Manhead? No, it's too long. CD is too long. What's going on? Right, like all these are good skills, but the CD is extremely long and it's just useless in my opinion. Right, so next, Barbara. So unless you're playing all these cards in a Qing Gui team in which your cards is ready on the spot, CD9 is a little too long, honestly. Just saying. But Madhead has already put out a statement that they are not going to do any changes to Dragon Spiritor, so also good luck to that. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Barbara, Divergent form, which what I say just now is one of the best Divergent in the entire series. Explode all runestones to generate enchanted runestone. Yes, there is no race runes here, but explode all runestones is always good to have because you can clear all your board hazards and stuff like that. Alright. Number 2, combo count +5. Yes, very good, right? We have, above 16 combos now. We have above, 2-digit kind of combos. Plus combo is always good to have, right? Leader ally, dragons combo count +10. Yes, very good, right? In cases like Hong Ai, in cases like Changbi, we don't have any increased combos like Qing Gui, right? Combo count up, +10, very good. Okay, so this is what we call a proper virtual rebirth. Alright, I don't know what they're doing with the other attributes, but this is done correctly. Alright, so Barbara, very good. So it's ironic how the best Dragon Spiritor becomes useless AF. Then the useless AF Dragon Spiritor after virtual rebirth becomes the most useful one. There's just something wrong. There's just something wrong with this entire series. Alright, so Divergent Honor, Swastika of Light. We have seen this active skill before. It is Rococo's active skill, but fire version. Is Yokto, but dark version. We have the light version now, which is Honor, that Swastika convert, and on top of that we have light and dragon attack ×2. I don't think this is really playable, honestly. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it there, unless there is like maybe a 15-15 light heart shield. Then maybe you consider using this, but other than that, I don't think this active skill is good in any sort of dragon gameplay. Right, last but not least, let's take a look at Novalis. Right, I'm already sighing because I already read through all the skills. Right, so Divergent Novalis. CD6, restore all runestones in black and white to original colors. Well played, Madhead. Such a shit skill. Right, turn all runestones touch while moving into dragon runestones. So if you are gonna make it, let's be real here. If they're gonna make us turn all runestones touch while moving into dragon runestones, why not just immediately give the whole board dragon runestones? Right, so turning all runestone touch while moving is gonna be affected by things like weathered runes, burning runes, and stuff like that. Right, so it's not a very good skill. Okay, last but not least, the neighboring members launch extra 2 dark attacks. What? Okay, let's be real here. All of these could have been better, right? And by adding this, it doesn't break the game, it doesn't break the card, it just makes it slightly better, right? Just leave it in the comments down below whether you guys agree with me. Okay, let's just talk about Divergent Novalis here. Restore all runes in black and white to original. Okay, fine, let's just leave it, right? Point number 2, why not just give Novalis turn the whole board into dragon runestones instead of we have to manually do it ourselves, right? Point number 3, why don't every member launches an extra attack? Isn't that better? Neighboring members, even Novalis itself doesn't even launch an extra attack, right? It's just neighboring members, right? So I don't know which department, which staff in Madhead office thought of this entire series virtual rebirth, right? Overall, I find that this is not passable as a virtual rebirth. Okay, so overall, I feel that only Barbara is worth the virtual rebirth, right? If you guys are very low on resources, Barbara is the go-to, right, to virtual rebirth. Other than that, if you guys are just collecting the card to put it in the index, then yes, go ahead. But Barbara is the one and only card that is worth the virtual rebirth, right? So it has been a very long video, right? I'm just gonna cut it off here, right? Before I end this, I know this is a card review and most of it is a rant, but let me know whether you guys agree with me as well. Alright, so I'll be looking forward to hear from you guys in the comments below as well. Right, so with that, I'm gonna end this card review. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Right, it's been a while since you guys see my face probably. I haven't been putting face cam, right, in my gameplays, and I don't really live stream anymore. Right, so it's been a while. Alright, so I'm gonna end this video here. Hopefully you guys enjoy. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.